to go live. All right, it is live, and what up, YouTube land? It is Craig Harris, the black man in the blue chair tonight. Here hanging out with Mr. Psycho Gamer and JD33, and I appreciate you gentlemen coming on tonight. I know Psycho Gamer's been making the rounds, so
hey, can y'all motherfuckers hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you now, brother.
Okay, cool.
I hear you fine.
Yeah. First of all, let me ask both you gentlemen, how was your if you celebrated it, how was your turkey day?
It was good, man. I looked at old pictures, talked a lot of mess, talked a lot of shit, watched some football, and chilled out.
Cool. Your family doing all right?
Everybody's doing good, man.
All right. How about you, Jay?
I caught the fucking itis. I hung my brother and his wife who buy me a 1080p TV this Christmas. About goddamn time, because I'm tired of watching this fucking box in my damn room. I watched Deadpool for the first time, cried my eyeballs laughing at that dumbass movie. I saw Doctor Strange. I saw one of my nephew's girlfriends. She fine white girl. Hope he doing what the hell he doing with her. My other nephew came down for college. You know, he a nerd like me, so you know we talk this shit. I saw my mama. She ain't tell me shut the hell up this time. Yeah, man, everything pretty much good, man. I had a 3-day weekend and went back to work this morning. I ain't want to do that shit. I almost fell asleep. But yeah, man, my turkey day was good, man. My turkey day was fantastic. Like I said, I had Isaac the whole ass of banana pudding. Had the shits, but hey, that's what it is, man.
It is. How did you like that Doctor Strange? I like that end of it when he, the way he tricked that thing. I was laughing my ass off at that.
Oh, dude, that shit right there. He was like, I have a bargain. I have a bargain. I have a bargain. I'm like, God damn it, just take the fucking bargain because he's going to keep doing this shit. Damn. I mean, he got blown up. He got stabbed. This motherfucker got vaporized. I'm like, damn, Strange, you going through. I have a bargain. I have a bargain. I'm like, Domo, just take the fucking bargain and be done with this shit because it's not going to stop. He's got a time. He's got the fucking time ring with the infinity on that shit.
Yeah, Agamotto, that time gem. Yeah, it was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. All right, well, I'll go ahead and get it started. Apparently, the Zen CPU now has a price, and yeah, I know. there's 3 versions of it. Not one, not two. In my LeBron James voice. Apparently, the SR3 is going to be. And I wrote this down. Now I can barely read it. It's like 2 megs. Let's see, 4 cores, 8 threads. It's going to be like $149.99.
Oh shit, that's not bad at all. Hell no, that ain't bad. Shit.
That's not bad. The SR5 is 3 megs, an L2 cache. The 6 cores, 12 threads, $249.99.
Okay, I can deal with
and
that.
The SR7, which is 4 megs, L2 cache, I guess is what it's called.
Cache.
8 cores, 16 threads. It's supposed to clock at 3.2 to 3.5. They're going to release them between January and March. So if my question to both you gentlemen is, if Microsoft puts this thing in their next gen system, which one of these do you think they'll go with?
Either the first tier or mid tier. I don't think they'll go full blown.
Okay. Now this does compete with the Intel. Apparently, the equivalent Intel is like $850 to $1,000.
They'll probably end up at the very most going with mid tier, because one thing I always say, if your ass want high end shit, you paying for it. You gonna pay out the ass dealer for that shit.
What's the mid? What was the mid? The specs on it, and what was the price for the mid?
The mid, I believe, is at $250.
And it was
$249.99. Yeah, 6 cores. Yeah. Cool. 12 threads. Yeah, $250. I found it here. I wrote it down on this small notepad. Now I can barely read my own writing. So
go ahead, Jake. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like, you know, like I was telling Cycle, you know, we talked about before, like, you know, whenever you're looking at PC style parts for hardware, you know, companies aren't going to want to spend a whole bunch because, you know, when you build the system, you want what you spend to come back to your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, when you look at how much, you know, the Xbox One costed to fucking connect, You know, they were like shit because actually Xbox One with the Kinect cost about what $50 to $100 more than the PS4. But at the same time, Microsoft was like, shit, the Kinect is kind of doing this, so they ended up making their gains back by getting rid of the Kinect because, you know, we all like to buy shit at a certain price. So who wants to go out and spend an ass of money and then you don't use it? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know, it's like what I think the Scorpio might do if they do use this in, it's probably going to be that mid-core chip, the 6th core, because the more cores you have, the better. But at the same time, you paying price per performance. You know what I'm saying? So but I will say this though, because I know the PS4 Pro is using the old AMD Jaguar. Now the Jaguar ain't no good shit, but it ain't no terrible shit. But I think again, you know, when it comes to what companies do with their tech, they, you know, Sony's actually using proprietary stuff with their Polaris tech inside their system. Now, if the Scorpio's coming out next year, probably which it will. It might come out before Christmas. I don't know. There's a rumor going around, but I don't put rumors to no smell test. But if the Scorpio does come out, it probably will use that whole 6-core thing, because I don't think Microsoft want to break the bank on building something and then all of a sudden shit being like $699 like the PS3 fucking was at one point, you know, and nobody going out to buy it. Because, like, you know, the PS3 honestly didn't start winning until they started giving out bundle deals and dropping shit down to $399. You know what I'm saying?
Well, PS3 mainly was because of the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It really went once that became kind of the standard, and you could maybe pay a $3 to $6 difference. You know, when movies come out, they're always $7 to $10 cheaper that first 3 or 4 days. When there was only a $4 to $7 difference between regular DVD and Blu-ray. Yeah, I mean, PS3 did start selling more consoles. From what I understand from the Sony people I've talked to, they will tell you it's because of it wasn't because of the games. The games came at the very end when God of War and Uncharted 3, all those games did help at the end, but it was the
they did.
it was the Blu-ray. Plus, a lot of folks got married, and their wives were not going to have them. They wanted something on the back end of that too. You couldn't sell Xbox 360. I'm gonna play games. You could sell PS3. You can watch your movies, and I'll play some games too. That was a much easier sell to the ladies.
Yeah, it was, because you know it's like because I know my roommate she has a 360 Slim, and I got my raggedy dead ass shit in the damn closet. Fucking raggedy ass box. Served me good though. But she don't play no games on it. She spend most of her time watching some dumbass reality shit on Netflix, Love and Hip Hop. Hate that goddamn show. Basically she spends her time on Netflix on her Xbox, watching some anime, some Sword Art Online, some shit like that. But me, when I buy a console, I'm probably gonna be more likely playing games or trying to record gameplay and put the shit on YouTube. You know, so you know. My
Xbox One S, I still don't know how to record my gameplay. I just don't.
I don't know what to say about this shit, Craig.
I just don't. I need a tutorial on it, because with the PlayStation, you just hit one button and it starts doing it, and it's probably like that for the Xbox. I've been mad at it since it don't do Bluetooth. I got mad that afternoon. So. But, Cycle, can you give me a tutorial on how in the world I can record my gameplay on that Xbox One? Is there like a one-touch button, or can I say Xbox One record or something like that? Or is he still there?
Sorry about that. I had my mic on mute, but I couldn't even tell you, man. To be honest with you, when I use it, if something cool happened, I'll say Xbox record that. And let it record it. I don't really like get into the whole record my gameplay thing. I know you can record the last 5 minutes or something like that. That was the last time I ever used it for that, but I don't generally use it for that. So
yeah, I need to make a phone call into them. It's I'm sure it's something. Yeah, I'm tech challenged, so I need help with that shit.
Yeah.
So you all both think that the SR5 version of the Zen is what you all feel Microsoft will go with?
Probably, yeah. Probably
All
because
right.
of the fact that one, it's middle of the road. It's not expensive, but you probably get better performance out of that shit than you do. Because see, it's like this when you look at CPUs, man. Even when I had a gaming PC, like my AMD processor I had was a Socket 754 Newcastle. That was kind of the high point at the time because AMD was the only company back 2003 that was doing 64-bit floating points and shit with their system. Intel was still 32. But then when 2006 came out, Intel said, we're going to take ideas from AMD and we're just going to figure out a way to mask the latency of our front side bus with our chips by making them fucking fast as shit. And that's actually how the Core 2 Duo overtook the AMD processors and put them back in second place, though. But, I always tell people this, people can talk shit about AMD, they won. But AMD actually makes some revolutionary type tech. Intel used to make revolutionary tech, but they used to charge you out the ass for it. AMD makes
Intel stuff's still expensive.
yeah, that shit's expensive because I saw like a low end processor for like $185. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I saw a mid range for like $280. Then the high end's like goddamn $380. I'm like, man, this shit is high.
Yeah. I mean, again, if AMD can do something better or just as good, I'm happy.
But I will say this though. I will say this about AMD. AMD has kind of been on the forefront in some cases when it comes to features. Now, I'm not sleeping on Intel because Intel got money and they got and they got fame across the world for Intel being on everything. But at the same time, I never sleep on the secondary chip, the competition, because competition can do some shit you never thought. Because, I like PlayStation Pro. I fucking love it. But I also like the Xbox Scorpio for what it could potentially do. Keyword, potentially do. Because like you have a lot of folk try to say you got to pick one or the other. I say no. I just like technology in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think both of them. I'll go ahead, Psycho. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Like you're saying, I was just agreeing with him. Like I'm more of a technology person. That's one of the reasons why I liked the Xbox One more than the PlayStation 4 when they first came out. Because I'm just more into technology. Like I just like cool shit or cool futuristic shit. And so when I can walk in my house and say Xbox on and all my shit turned on, that's something that I appreciated from Microsoft. Because that's something that I've always wanted. Growing up.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, what he said is actually a very valid point because like I said, I'm not really a particular fanboy. I mean, I got a gaming PC that's got dust in this shit. My fucking roommate killed him, but kill our ass later. I have a dead 360 Slim in the closet. I loved it, but it just fucking died on me. One day it said sorry. I have a Tegra Note 7 tablet. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna cut the camera on so y'all can see that I'm not lying about this shit.
I believe you. You don't have to do that.
Hold on. Y'all see this shit, right? This is the Tegra Note tablet.
Yeah, I see it. Is it an Android tablet?
Yeah, it's a Tegra Note. It's got a Tegra 4 processor in there. Now the bitch is beautiful. The bitch is beautiful, but it don't fucking work. So and also I'm gonna show y'all this dead ass goddamn 360 Slim in my closet. Now y'all have to excuse the room because it's kind of junky. Now you see
it's your room, so you can have it the way you want.
This goddamn shit right here, right? You see this bitch? Yep.
Yeah.
My baby that fucking died on me. So for all you haters out there talking about, hey, I'm a PlayStation pony, this is a goddamn Xbox Slim. Yeah, shit. So anyway, I want everybody to know that I ain't bullshitting and that I ain't playing around.
On my Xbox, I got like 3 friends on there. I guess I don't know if that's good or bad. So, but I'm on there for another few days.
Man, this better than no friends. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I was playing on my Xbox, I ain't playing on the Xbox Live. Straight single player. Straight single player. What the fuck I was? Saints Row, straight single player. Dead Space, single player. Tag, I ain't had no friends to play, so I played by my damn self. So yeah, man.
It's funny because how y'all are with the Xbox, that's how I was with the PS3. Even though I thought the PS3 was a better console,
Yeah.
like the exclusives were 2 times better in my opinion. They had the Blu-ray player. Like I just, again, this goes back to me just wanting liking cool shit, liking technology. Like the PS3 was like, I used to advocate for PS3. Like, hey, y'all need to pick this up. I don't know why people aren't picking this up. It has a Blu-ray player. The games look so much better. Like it's a cool system. And so that's what I appreciated from the PS3, even though the Xbox was like my media hub for everything, my Netflix and my online gaming. But I liked the PS3 better as a system.
Yeah, so. I mean, you really, when you think about it, when you look at what the vision of both companies were, Sony has always been a gaming company. Now, I'm not saying Microsoft hasn't been a gaming company, but it's not a gaming company. Microsoft more so focuses on the technology aspect and the entertainment aspect, which is why the Xbox One was initially designed the way it was in the first place. Because, like, you know, can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Anyway, so, you know, like I was telling you, Psycho, like when the Xbox One came out. Now, I wasn't talking shit about the Xbox One. I was talking about from a tech standpoint because I understand the tech on a basic level how it works. Like a lot of people didn't know the difference in between memory and GDDR. I said GDDR, that's graphics. That deals with, you know, videos and movies and games. Well, this more so with games, and DDR is just regular standard system memory. So it's like if you look at the builds in between the PS4 and the Xbox One, the Xbox One takes the cake as far as being a media machine because it was designed that way. It was designed to be a cheap media center PC versus the PS4 was designed to be kind of this mid-range gaming PC at a console price. But
yeah, go ahead.
But when you look at the Scorpio and the PS4 Pro, well, the PS4 Pro is a mid-generation upgrade. If the Scorpio is using all new tech, it kind of classifies as kind of a new gen console in some cases because it's stepping away from using Jaguar, if you get what I'm saying. Because both, I mean, the PS4 Pro uses an overclocked Jaguar processor. Only thing that's different is the GPU and the amount of bandwidth that it's using to move memory back and forth. But at the same time, you know, Scorpio is a mid-generation upgrade, but it's not. Because if Microsoft does go with the Zen, if they do go with the Zen CPU architectures, possibility it might be edging into the new generation console. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me go back to what you said at first. First of all, both of these companies are not gaming companies. Like Sony was a hardware company and Microsoft was a software company, and they got into gaming. I think you're kind of disappearing a little bit. I can barely hear you. I don't know if that's just me.
Oh, wait a minute. Can y'all hear me now?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, now we can hear you now. But yeah, they both got into this gaming market, you know, because they knew that it was getting hot. So they both got into it eventually. Sony did it, you know, based on, you know, because they were trying to work with Nintendo, and Microsoft got into it because they were working with Sega, and so that's how they both kind of got into the market. Now, as far as the next generation, mid generation, like I don't understand how the Scorpio was a next generation console and the Pro is a mid generation console when they're both advertising them as the same thing. They are both everything that they've said from beginning to end has been the same exact verbiage, everything. The only difference is, in my opinion, or just from what I've observed, the only difference is Microsoft has more power in theirs than Sony does.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Well,
that's the only difference.
Yeah, I'll answer that. Sony had to make a mid-gen console for their VR. Well, for their VR does run. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the PS VR run on the Pro versus running on the I guess you want to call it the old school PS4, the original launch. It's not the vanilla one. It's night and day difference. It is night and day. That's one thing I did a podcast on is the people who have been complaining about the Pro. Go back to your question. If they're using Zen ZPU, Microsoft, and the technology is just now becoming available next year. That is brand new technology. And if they're going to do UHD architecture, which the original Xbox that I had, Xbox One that I bought, it did not play UHD 4K movies. It didn't have any type of 4K anything on it. If you're going to give me, so my Xbox One S to me feels like a mid-generation console. It's got a little more power than the original, than the big boy Xbox One. It does some more things that the Xbox One, the original one, doesn't do, and it feels that the UI on it. If I can work around that UI, and I'm terrible, and I publicly admit it, I'm terrible working that kind of stuff. That their UI for me is easier to use than the original UI. I mean, I have Windows 10 on this computer, and I still don't understand how 95% of it works. I'm surprised I can even do this.
Please send One Stop an invite to this motherfucker.
I did.
Okay. Resend it.
Yeah, I sent it. Okay, I'll resend it. Yeah. He got his right after you, because I think Jay was telling me he was on another podcast. So I'm like, well, I don't know if he'll be able to do this one. Yeah.
We need to have him in here for this conversation, because we're just talking about that on their podcast.
Oh, okay.
But
that for me tells me that Microsoft, which to me is fine. I'm not dissing on Microsoft. If you're going to put out something that's going to play UHD movies, it's going to play allegedly, and I'm saying allegedly because we got to see it first. It's allegedly supposed to be able to play all your Xbox games from first gen Xbox, like Knights of the Old Republic and all that stuff. And it's supposed to play them in 4K, allegedly. I mean, again, that's fine. To me, you have a half step. And I've actually heard, I'll mention his name, I've actually heard Tim Dog say this. He said Microsoft is doing a full step and Sony's doing a half step. And I'm just like, well, if this guy understands that, and he is allegedly videotaping people at Best Buy parking lots, I'm like, if this guy understands that, I don't know why it's that big a deal. I mean, it's like, you got a motorcycle. If you have a Honda, so if Honda does a mid-gen replacement of a motorcycle versus a brand new one that's going to have a brand new type engine, it may be a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter. Everything's going to work a little bit better. I just look at it as the same thing. I never get into the whole power thing. Sony to me has always taken looks over not durability, but over the way a game plays. You know, even with Titanfall 2, because I played it on both on the PS4 and the Xbox One S. It looks better on the PS4. It's more balanced on the Xbox, but that's what both companies kind of shoot for.
Yeah.
You want balance, or do you want pretty graphics? It's to me they're consoles. I will always default to graphics, but that's me.
Okay. Well, you brought up motorcycles. So what I have is called it's a 6. It's called a 6. People call it a 6. That means it's 600 cc's in it. Okay. So you have your 250, which is like the beginner baby version of a motorcycle. It's called the 250 cc or 300, whatever. And then you have the 600, which is the mid tier. And then in between that, this is more like in console comparison.
All right.
In between the 600 cc and a 1000 cc, there's a 750. Okay. In between 600 and 1000, there's a 750. Now,
okay.
There's certain companies have 750 engine cc's. That is their mid tier. Okay. Mm-hmm. And some have 800. So for me, PlayStation would be the 750 and the Xbox would have the 800. Just because one company decided to put 750 cc's inside of their engine and another decided to put 8 inside of theirs, which is still mid for them. I'll just tell you who the companies are. So Suzuki has a 750 and Ducati has an 848, and they also have a 1000.
Yeah, that Ducati is badass too. I seen that.
And it's so Ducati. Yeah, so Ducati has a 848, and they have a when it's called a 1000 cc or whatever. And so the 848 is their mid motorcycle. And for Suzuki, they do have a 600, and they have a 750, and they have 1000. So my thing is, just because Suzuki put 750 in theirs and Ducati put 800 in theirs, does not mean that it's not mid tier, because they also have a 1000. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
So for me, when I'm looking at these consoles, it's like, just because Microsoft put more stuff in theirs, and to me they invested more in their mid-generation console, quote unquote, then to me it's still mid-tier. They're both still mid-tier to me. It's just one put more into it. That's just my thought process on that.
All right, then what's the Xbox Slim then? Because the Xbox Slim
is a Slim. There's nothing that, so the games are still, they still run the same. But wait a minute. So let's think of a game. Let's say fucking Titanfall. I don't know what the resolution is on that, but on the Xbox One, the Xbox One and the Xbox One S, it's the same resolution across the board. There's nothing that can't be done with an update. I'm sorry, hold on.
Yeah. Now what? All right, go ahead.
Sorry, somebody's calling me. Go ahead.
All right. Well, let's look at Gears of War, because Gears went from being 900p. That's what it was going to be originally, but when they got it to the Xbox One S, because of the extra power, and it's a little more power. I mean, it's not huge power. It's anyway, I think Rod Ferguson said anywhere from like 4 to 7%. They were able to get that game to 1080p, which those are his words. I mean, and then they added the HDR and stuff in. So, but it's the Slim is doing stuff that the Xbox One, the original Xbox One, doesn't do.
The same thing happened with the 360 and the Xbox 360 Slim. Those games ran better. They ran slightly better on the Slim versus because they updated the parts. And that's just how Microsoft does their upgrades. They were not their Slims. They upgrade their Slims. Sony, from what I can remember, takes away things from their Slim generation consoles.
Well, they had to do something last gen because nobody was buying it. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, and that's cool. Yeah, you got a product there. You got to get the shit out. So yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
and that's the thing. So I don't like to talk about like the Microsoft people or whatever, but I've had a conversation with one of the Microsoft execs, like an actual physical conversation, conversation with him about what they're doing with their consoles, and he straight up said that it's like we like to upgrade our Slims a little bit. Slightly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's because I can put better parts in them.
Yeah. I'm glad they did. Look, I like that thing. I wish somebody would come over here and show me how to use that shit, because apparently it does a whole lot of stuff. I mean, it does a whole lot of stuff that I think I would like, but what my only complaint about it, like I was telling Jay this, was that, you know, the when you plug in your headset there, I wish I could use my Bluetooth, because I have these Skull Candy Bluetooths that are off the chain good, you know, and it would be nice if they had added that as part of it. And
they should have. There is a Bluetooth controller out there. I don't know, like I don't really get into that stuff, but because my Slim was given to me by that exec, it was just given to me, so I didn't really get into you know, if it had Bluetooth or not. But there is a Bluetooth controller out there. I don't know if it's this one or not, but there is one.
Yeah, no, mine, and that, and it still uses batteries. I mean, I guess I don't know if Microsoft has a deal with the battery companies, but you know, I just that again, it makes everything a little bit heavier, but that's just me. I mean, I don't really care. Like I said, I'm playing Elite Dangerous on there.
They're doing batteries because they want you to get the thing, the wireless thing.
The charger? Oh, the wireless.
The charger, not the wireless, the battery pack.
Yeah, I do like the universal port. So I guess you can plug in a PC, like PC headsets that are real good. I'm talking about that shit that's, you know, $200-$300. There's jaw dropping, turns colors. You can plug that into it. So, but yeah, but no, I've always looked at the Xbox One S because it's not. It does stuff that the other one cannot do, and which is fine. And I thought it was a good idea to take advantage of that of that market. I thought they did a real good thing. Apparently, it sold very well on Black Friday. I don't know what their official numbers are yet, but I know it, my friend that works at Target part-time, she said they really couldn't keep them on the shelf. So good for them. I certainly hope it sells. It bodes well for the entire gaming community. So
yeah, like I was saying about the Scorpio. I mean, because just like, you know, the reason why I kind of like Psycho said, it's a mid-generation upgrade, but at the same time, it's using parts that are a bit more advanced than what the hell the Jaguar is doing right now. Now, I will say this though. I mean, it is a mid-generation console because they're both AMD. You know what I'm saying? And
all right.
the reason why, if you look at the PS4 Pro, the only thing that's different about the PS4 Pro is, like I said, is that you have a newer GPU. It's based off Polaris Tech, right?
Yeah.
It has, according to Mark Cerny, and I do trust him because he's the guy who designed the fucking thing. It does have some features of AMD's Vega chipset as well. So basically the GPU is a fucking mutt for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a custom mutt GPU. The same thing probably with the GPU that's going to be inside the Xbox Scorpio. I call it the Xbox One Plus. It's probably going to have a mutt GPU. But the thing is, though, I always say you have to look at the memory allocation as well, because, you know, both of these systems using GDDR5X. Yes, GDDR5X is real fucking memory. It ain't some made up shit. And it does have, and it is more flexible when it comes to a higher bandwidth than regular GDDR5. So I think when you look at it, the Scorpio is a mid-generation console, and at the same time, from a tech standpoint, it's kind of not. But then again, you have to think about what features Microsoft might implement into this thing. You know what I'm saying? And like,
it's going to be VR ready. It's going to be VR ready. They're not going to have a according to Phil Spencer, at least off the cuff, they're not going to have, or off the launch, they're not going to have a VR system, but it's going to work with Oculus.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason. That's also part of the reason why we had the mid-generation console upgrades, because, like I was telling Cycle, the PlayStation 4 is not a bad system at all. It's actually a great system, but the problem is, though, when you start talking about teraflops, you start talking about computing power, you're talking about horsepower to move the hardware to make it do what it is. I mean, like you were saying, Craig, the VR on the regular PS4 and the PS4 Pro, like you said, is night and day. And like I said, the more, and like Cycle was saying about the engines, like the CC engines, you know, between the 650 and the 750 and the 8, the more oomph you have, the more your shit's gonna do. And that's why, you know, like when people, like my homeboy's girlfriend tried to tell me, yeah, both systems are doing native 4K. I said, well, that actually depends on how much resources the game engine is using, because you got to take into account texture sizes and physics and, you know, color and literally pretty much every little thing in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, you know, when people say uncompromised 4K, I'm thinking, okay, everything's turned up. There's no slowdown. But on the console, you can kind of do it, get away with things a bit, because on the console, you have to scale stuff back anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's the given. You got to scale stuff back. Like Star Citizen cannot be played on PlayStation 4 Pro that I know of yet. It can't be played on Xbox One. This shit's mostly on PC because it's built on PC hardware and it's designed to be massively scalable. And the game is fucking amazing, by the way, all the shit you can do. Now, speaking of games, I'm gonna talk about the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah.
All right. When I first saw the trailer, everybody gave it a lot of hate. No offense, but you have a lot of Call of Duty fanboys who are fucking stupid. Not all of them, but quite a bit of them, because they say, "Hey, let's stick to fighting the Russians, the Afghanis, the Vietnamese." I'm like, we have been through fucking Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and Russia an ass amount of times. All these damn conflicts. We did the same shit in Ghost Recon Future Soldier. But I will say this: Infinite Warfare's premise for sci-fi actually was pretty fucking surprisingly good. But again, I'm a story person too. I went to, still trying to design my own game one day. the thing that worked about Infinite Warfare, the robot, and I watched the playthrough. I watched the playthrough. Ethan was probably the most entertaining character in the game because of the fact that he was a robot, but he had human emotions. He could joke like everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? And he would say shit like, really, what the fuck? But it was funny. It was timed right. The biggest issue I have was when you had the SDF and Sailing Cotton. I said to myself, you got Jon Snow in the game to make motherfuckers buy this shit. You got old boy, because you know, what's the Scottish MMA fighter's name?
Connor?
Yeah.
Scottish?
Irish?
Irish, yeah, that's Conor McGregor.
Yeah. You had my man Conor McGregor in the game. But he was only in there for like 1 to 2 scenes. That's it. I'm like, if you're going to have people with big names in a game like that, you need to fucking utilize those people. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you know, you have Nick Reyes, little big cheddar cheese, block ass head. You got Nora Salter. Oh, I fuck her. I really would, but she might put me in a vice hold.
Hey man, hold on. What scene was Conor McGregor in?
Yeah.
The beginning part of the game, right? You basically go touching down on Europa, and you gotta go take back.
Okay, got you. I thought that was him. Okay,
Yeah, that was him. And so, anyways, you're seeing big name people portraying these characters, but they're not even in the game all the way. And I'm like, you know what? To me, there's a bad usage of a famous person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Jamie Gray Hater was, she was in the game because she was your squad mate. She was around you damn near 95% of the time. You know? But
what's that black guy's name that was in it? He's on that TV show Supergirl.
Man, you talking about David Harewood. He was also an old boy, black ass dude from Shadowfall and shoot your ass in the end. Oh yeah, but I mean he did a pretty good role, but the issue I had was that I felt Infinite Warfare should have been more than 7 hours. Because, you know, after playing Mass Effect, I've gotten used to being locked into a game and not wanting to end to, you know, kind of have things kind of ramp up each time or you see what's going on or what's happening. You know, but Infinite Warfare was a beautiful looking game, but at the same time, it was a game with flaws in the story department because, you know, y'all know the enemy called the Settlement Defense Front?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the issue I had with the Settlement Defense Front. My thing is the Settlement Defense Front. They do kill motherfuckers. Yes, they do. But I think what Infinite Warfare should have done, it should be a fucking series of this game. They should have done like Modern Warfare. You should have introduced the Settlement Defense Front, right? You should have seen Sailing Koch, but you should not have done away with him in the game. What should have been done is that you use these people who are playing these characters to help build that universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the Settlement Defense Front to me, the way I would have done them is because, you know, as a person who was military, some of my family was military. War is not really a black and white thing. And I think this is where Infinite Warfare fucked up at. They made war out to be this black and white, us versus them type of thing. But I would say not everybody who's a part of the SDF is evil. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got some crazy motherfuckers in there do some really horrendous war crime shit. But at the same time, though, I wouldn't make everybody out in that group to be evil. There would be a gray area. Some people would join a group because they felt that Earth was not paying them for the minerals and resources. Like me and Craig was talking, I said what I would have done for Infinite Warfare had I been a writer of the story. You would have had a much deeper story where you saw interactions between Reyes and the guy that you're supposed to be fighting. And you learn that they have history together. You know what I'm saying? That would have created tension in between the two characters. And it would have been like, well, this motherfucker I got to kill to beat the game. No, there's a lot more to go with this shit. Y'all see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Yeah, it should be more about your views than, you know, black or white.
Yeah.
I think war is like a war on views, basically. You know what I mean? Like how you believe things should be.
Yeah, war, like you said, Sako, brother, I love you, and you said it correctly. Wars are more so not black and white, but they're more so based on perspectives of how you see stuff. For example, let's talk about the Afghanistan war, right? The one we just got out, supposedly got the fuck out of us there. Okay, you have the Taliban. They feel a certain way about us. We feel a certain way about them. Okay, so we lied and fucking hit the Twin Towers, right? We ain't happy about that shit. We been cut this motherfucker down to the ass of the fucking goddamn Pluto from Days On In until we finally got the guy in 2011. But at the same time, though, some people will say, well, yeah, he was bad. And then some people will say, well, he was our hero. Like you said, Cycle, it's all a matter of perspective. And I felt that when it came to the characters in Infinite Warfare, they fucking lacked perspective. There was no moral compass. I wouldn't say there was no moral compass in the game, but y'all played Deus Ex, right?
I tried to, but go ahead.
Deus Ex actually did some of this pretty well. Your characters weren't exactly evil or good. They were players in the larger plot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played the Director's Cut, which was a better game because it had all the fucking DLC in there for free. Basically, with the Director's Cut, I got a much more clear, complete story of what's going on. I learned about Rifleman Station. I learned about Bell Tower. I learned about all the players involved, and that Adam Jensen was basically the golden crown jewel that moved everything forward because it was practically about you and who you were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even when you look at Mankind Divided, it takes things a lot further because in Mankind Divided, the developer was like, what we're going to do, we're not going to make the choices black and white. They're going to be more so the gray area based on what you do. Like, Incident, the second game works for a hacktivist group, but he also works for Interpol. But you have those different things in the game woven together. And I said to myself, why the fuck did Infinity War do that shit in Infinite Warfare? It would have made for, to me, a much better game because you would have had choices and shit to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, did I make the right choice? Did we accidentally just nuke goddamn 1 billion people on this planet and not even thought about this shit? You know, basically stuff, you know, kind of like a Mass Effect-esque style thing where whatever choices you make are supposed to be supposedly far-reaching or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Infinite Warfare sci-fi premise was good, but I just thought that the character development could have used some damn work. Because, like I said, when your robot is the funniest motherfucker in the game, we got problems.
I just thought it was funny when they first showed the trailer, and I think they did this on purpose too. Is you didn't know what the game was. So people was like, what the hell is this? Look, this game look good as hell. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? And then when they put Call of Duty at the end of it, it was like, oh, it's another Call of Duty. Oh, this bullshit. Like, I swear to you, I'm looking on Twitter. I'm listening to like different podcasts. Everybody's like, oh, what the hell? What the fuck is this? Some flying shit in space? Some kind of grappling hook? Oh, it's Titanfall. What's the next this and that? You know what I'm saying? Like people was like intrigued by it. And then when they heard it was Call of Duty, their whole perspective changed.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, I was in One Stop's podcast. Oh, what up, One Stop?
What's good, bro?
You just mentioned you spoke the motherfucking existence. God damn.
Yeah.
I just got out the the other Google Hangout or whatever.
So anyway,
What's good?
One Stop. Remember the podcast?
Oh, what's good, Psycho? I see you in there, boy.
Yeah, indeed.
Anyway, remember the podcast we had a while back? I think Cycle was on there too, and it was Poppin' 2K. And we was talking about, remember I made the whole thing, motherfuckers, I said, motherfuckers, they hate future shit. And then they go back and say how good I said, I thought y'all, basically the way I feel about Infinite Warfare, if you've been hearing what I've been saying right now, that damn goddamn character development was fucking ass. My thing is, Ethan was my favorite character because the motherfucker had a sense of humor, even though he was nothing but nuts and bolts and goddamn circuitry. I feel like Nick Reyes was a fucking cheese blockhead is what he was. This motherfucker was like, we gotta get the mission done. We gotta get mission done. You ain't gonna listen to your squad mate. You ain't gonna listen to your squad mate. You ain't gonna listen to your squad mate.
Oh,
that's why I said Call of Duty in the story department after Modern Warfare 2 is fucking ass.
This is my issue with Mr. Reyes. Why they name him? Isn't okay? I'm not trying to be racist, but isn't Reyes like a Hispanic type name?
Yeah, it's Latino. Yeah.
Why does this guy sound white? Why? I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Ask that question again. You said why they name him that, but he talk like he white.
Yeah, he sounds like a white person or Caucasian person.
Yeah, I know. Man, the way I look, this because his voice actor Brian Bloom was a kind of heavy set, chunky white dude. But anyway,
why is Brian Bloom playing Reyes?
I'm gonna say this because Warfare tries to be diverse, but they don't get diverse voices. They don't.
That's like having Ben Affleck play a Jerome or some shit like that. Like,
That's retarded.
that's crazy. That is ridiculous.
No, because now Nora Salter, she was Lebanese, but she wasn't that badly played. Now the black dude, well, you know, you had to have David Hellwiggers look just like the motherfucker anyway. You know, he did a good job of that character. My thing is, when your robot is the best character in the game, you have a problem. Admiral Reigns, well, he was just kind of lame in a damn way. Nick Reyes, we got a problem. We can't do this. We got to spread out confetti. I'm like, look, they blew some shit up. Then we need to go fight these motherfuckers. We need to go fight these motherfuckers. That's how I felt about goddamn Infinite Warfare. I felt like the story was just kind of some shit they threw together.
What happened one stop? He dropped out?
He put BRB. Does that mean be right back?
Yeah,
be right back. But anyway, that's just kind of my rant about Infinite Warfare. The story to me had some promise, but I don't think they delivered on that shit. Just what the fuck? And like Cycle said, if you have somebody who's Latino, why the fuck ain't the voice at the Latino shit?
Reyes.
Reyes.
I mean, I noticed that, but I was just like, well, I ain't gonna say nothing because it's a video game.
That is ridiculous.
But it's like that movie coming out, Ghost in the Shell, and they got Scarlett Johansson playing the part of an Asian person. It's just like, oh my god, it was.
I mean, and this has nothing to do with race. It's just like realistic. Like you can't have somebody playing a native Asian person and they're American. They don't even try to replicate the accent. Like
yeah, I agree. Whitewashing.
Whitewashing that shit, and I mean, it's just how I feel about Infinite Warfare. And I say, the game had promise. I probably will get it because I want to play it, but at the same time, I'm probably gonna say, why the fuck did I buy this shit in the first goddamn place? Now,
well, I bought it. It's not bad. I mean, I beat it a couple days ago. I beat it just in time for me to go out and buy gear. So I'm excited about that. Plus, I got a hell of a deal on gears. It was like $35. So I'm excited about that.
Man, I got a question. How the fuck you get them deals again? You must know when to shop.
Well, Black Friday at Best Buy, they had gears. They had gears for like $35. They had Grand Theft Auto for $25. That's how I got that card. Yeah, I had to get a voucher on the card. But if you bought like a certain set of games, you could get Xbox Live for $5, 3 months for like $6 or something like that. So that's the only. Yeah, so I got that, and then I bought X-Men First Class and X-Men Apocalypse. I got both of them for like $12 for $12 for both of those movies. So I did pretty good, for entertainment. And I guess I should have bought Batman versus Superman on UHD because I went back up there today, and it was back up to being $30. I'm
gonna say this real quick. Black Friday, I didn't do shit except, chill at my mama's house and go to sleep. Because I ain't had no deal with my Black Friday, taking my black ass to sleep, to sleep the itis off. But, yeah, man, my mom, down in Fayetteville where my mom was, Hope Mills, North Carolina. Fuck, I'm telling y'all where I say. But anyways, down in North Carolina, what she ate, man, she was saying a couple people had just got shot the night of Black Friday over some parking spaces. And I said to myself, this is the reason why I don't goddamn go out nowhere when it comes to this big ass shopping. Ain't no niggas gonna be putting no holes in my ass over there. PS4 Pro. I buy that bitch the first of the year, get a first year technology discount, and be happy with that shit. That's the reason why I say Black Friday is good. If you go, you get your ass out early in the morning to go do the shit. Don't wait late at night because niggas will come out late at night and do some dumb shit like shoot at your ass.
Yeah. The cycle. Did you go pick anything up on Black Friday, or did you just hang out at the house?
No, I just hung out, man. I bought some suits. That's what I did buy. I bought some suits. I was thinking about getting the PS4 Pro because I really want to get the VR.
Yeah.
But then somebody told me about a deal at a suit shop, so I had to do that, man.
Yeah,
I got 2 Versace suits for $200. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Hold
that's
on.
what I'm talking about. Hey, get in where you fit in.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's
Did you say Versace or Fosace?
No, Versace, sir.
what?
Versace.
Yo, goddamn expensive. You know what they like? Walmart.
No, man. It was that cheap. And this is like
Yeah.
a good suit shop too. And it was just, they was like, whatever they just had a good deal on it. So
Yeah, no, I don't blame people tricking that. Gaming here. No Man's Sky's got something coming out, or maybe out now, called Foundation. I don't know if this just dropped, I guess earlier today. It's 1.3. Yeah, 1.3 gigs, and it's like a big old patch, and it's going to allow you to do base building, and you don't have to go out and mine as much. You can have robots go out and find stuff for you. You can go out and recruit aliens that help you build stuff.
Hell yeah.
And, just overall enjoy it. Overall, it sounds like it's going to improve what they had out there, make it more or less what people thought it was going to be. So, what do you guys think about that? And does this help maybe have you go back and either go purchase it or get it out of the duster and maybe fire it up again? And it's free. You're not paying for this. You're not paying for this.
My question. Let me ask this question real quick. Okay, you have robots to go find your minerals and stuff for you. You have to mine a lot, and you have aliens that can help. That can help you with shit. Now I do have a question. Can you charge motherfuckers for staying in your base some resources and shit? Cause that's what the hell I do. I'm like, you want to come?
It didn't say that. Now, it did say, when you go to those planets and you find a base and it's abandoned and it tells you something that happened there, you can allegedly refurbish that base.
Oh boy,
and make it your own home base. And it looks like you can make a place like you could in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 where you could buy stuff and put it in your if you want to call it living in Fallout 4 where you were staying at. So my question is, do you think this will help gin up interest in the game again, or do you think people have just kind of wiped their hands of it and said, I'm moving on? Or
it's good for them for trying to support it and making it free. That's always appreciated. But for me, like, and this is me, like, I just feel like I think a little differently. Like when I first saw that game, I didn't think it was going to be that great. But for some odd reason, it was just the business. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wanted it. And then when it came out, everybody's like, this ain't what we thought it would be. So, I mean, for me, I don't really have any interest in it. But I think that it being free, I think it'll help, ease the pain a little bit. I'm surprised they're actually doing this, considering how much they disappeared.
Yeah. I think too. Also, when it comes to the DLC of this nature, because I always say yes, this shit should have been included in the game the first time. But at the same time, though, you can't get mad at the fact because the DLC's fucking free. So I think those of us, like myself, even though I don't have a console, but I do have interest in the game, but probably been flying that shit around for countless hours in the day before I go to work, I'm like, well, shit, now I have something else I can do, because what it does, it opens up more of the lore for me. I say, look, I can have a base now. I can discover this. I can discover that. I can send Saga some shit. I can send Craig some shit. I can send One Stop some stuff. I can have Bell Hooker bring his ass to the base and mount my, just stuff like that. Like, and just like the whole thing with Fallout 4, which I played on my nephew's Xbox One, but I didn't get to play because he took the fucking controller from me, asshole. I do like the fact that you can actually build bases on that game and set things up. So I think, No Man's Sky having this DLC, those, people like Bear, because I know Bear Hooker still plays the shit out that game because he fucking loves it. Yeah. I think what it's going to do for people like Bear and myself, when I do get it, it's going to say, oh, man, this is great. I could do this now. I could do that now. I could do this now. Another game I wish still had support was Battlefield 4. I do. I really do. Because Battlefield 4 to me is better than Call of Duty in a lot of respects because of the fact that you have vehicular combat and you have a lot of things to take into account, and that it's team-based. So, like, anybody remember that old Battlefield game called Battlefield 2142?
Back on the 360.
Well, no, it was on. It was on PC. Battlefield 2142 was basically the futuristic version of Battlefield. Same number of players on both sides. Now I said to myself, if Infinite Warfare came out with that, I think Battlefield kind of needs to take a futuristic approach and do not necessarily do super high sci-fi shit, but at the same time take an approach like they did to Unreal Tournament. And I think for people like me who enjoy stuff like Unreal Tournament and Quake and games like back in yesteryear and Half-Life, we'll come out and actually support that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? At least I know I would anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because Half-Life 2 was a shit. I'm sorry. That game was a motherfucking shit at one point.
I heard nothing but good things. I never played that, and I never played Counter-Strike, but I've heard nothing but good things about both those games.
Let me tell you about Counter-Strike. Oh, my God. Boy, that shit, that damn weapons have recoil in that game. I remember the first time I played, I was trying to do some old Halo shit, spraying and praying, right? My homeboy popped my ass, double tapped my ass in the head with a 45, and I had the fucking AK. I'm missing this shit, tap, I'm dead. I'm like, what the fuck? Round, counter-terrorist, went around. I'm like, shit! And, you know, Counter-Strike is one of those games where you have to think about what you're going to do. You have to know all the ins and outs of where the maps are going to be, where the sniping points are, where the tug of war spot are, where the surprise hits are, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Counter-Strike was because Counter-Strike actually kind of what made stuff like Rainbow Six what it is today. The new one anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where, you know, that sort of thing. So, I tell
you. Let me ask Cypher this question real quick. Are you going to watch the Video Game Awards? And if you are, what game are you hoping?
I ain't watching that shit, man. They completely dissed the Xbox community, and I'm fed up, man. I'm upset. I can't do it. I can't watch it.
Oh, come on, man. It's like a Microsoft Theater, isn't it?
No, man. I don't really partake in it. I just don't, man.
Yeah.
That's just my perspective on things. Like, I feel like a lot of this stuff is kind of.
Well, they're supposed to show 10. They're supposed to show 10 new world premieres.
Oh, okay.
So
well, in that case, I will be watching it. But
because I want to see. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
I'm fine. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go.
But I was gonna say, what games are you looking forward to seeing, if any, for 17? I don't think anything else is coming out this year.
Well, I want to see some more of Last Guardian.
Yes.
And also want to see something from what they say, Red Dead Redemption. If that's coming out, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I don't. Or Crackdown. That's what we need to see, something from Crackdown. Haven't seen it. I don't know where it's Crackdown. I mean, but Phil Spencer just came out and said that it's still in development. He just saw a new build of it, and so he said it's still in the works. So apparently there was some kind of little spat going on where Crap Gamer or somebody spread something and said that it was canceled or something like that. And so he came back and was like, no, it's not canceled. It's still in development. I just saw a new build today, actually.
Hold on. Let me say this real quick because I heard Crap Gamer. Look, Crap Gamer is not somebody you really want to get information from because he don't be knowing what the fuck he talking about. This is the same dude that went to Phil Spencer and said, "Oh man, I'm so mad you releasing Quantum Break on PC and Xbox." Phil Spencer was like, "I just think it's better for more people to play the game, release it on more than one system." And Crap Game was like, "I'm done. I'm going to PlayStation." Oh shit! Shut the door, shut the presses. He said he going to PlayStation. BGST is gonna have a heart attack. But anyway, enough of that bullshit. The Video Game Awards. I want to see Nier Automata. I got to see that fucking game because I'm in love with it. I want to see Ace Combat 7 because I had Ace Combat 6 Fires of Liberation. Fucking love that game.
That was good too.
I would love to see a sequel to Castlevania Symphony of the Night because that was the best Castlevania I played ever. Soundtrack was kick-ass. Characters was kick-ass. Adrian Vlad Tepes, a.k.a. Alucard, was kick-ass. I loved all that shit, man. Well, Twisted Metal, I'm not worried about that because that series kind of died down. But I do want to see another Siphon Filter. That game used to be my shit.
Yeah, I tell you what, I had 3. I got them written down. One is two are multiplats. I like to see some more of that. I know it's a Ubisoft game, but that Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Ooh, I got more of that shit right there. Let me say something about Wildlands real quick. This is what I like about Wildlands. They took the whole exploratory concept of Far Cry. They said, hey, you can complete your mission, but you can do it any way you want. And I was watching the video where the developer basically went in and shut off all the power, snatched the guy, then blew shit up, and the base just went dark. I said to myself, fucking yes, I like that. I fucking like that. I really do.
Yeah, I just hope it's a campaign. I don't know. Because I heard that they're gonna make it like The Division. I mean, if they're gonna make it like The Division, you'll hear this black man in the blue chair scream. Also, they're gonna show allegedly they're gonna have gameplay for Mass Effect Andromeda, not some
that shit
pre-cut trailers. They're gonna actually show gameplay. And my third one was it was another multiplat. Yeah, it was that one, Mass Effect, and Spider-Man. I actually am interested in seeing if they're going to have gameplay. I'm more interested in, you can show me a proof of concept like they have with Mass Effect, with the 4K video, stuff like that. But I want to actually see the game being played.
I agree.
On the screen, and that just helps me, the consumer, gauge where the game is. Mass Effect, I'm afraid, is going to be pushed back. But then I've ordered the comic book, and the comic book's supposed to come out March 21st. So that's like 3, 2, 1. So that everybody's we got our fingers crossed for that game. But that and Ghost Recon are the kind of the ones I just got interested in. Spider-Man. I don't know why. I just like, all right, if they're making a Spider-Man video game, and I like to see how that engine is gonna work. But yeah, that's me on that end.
But I'm definitely looking at Ace Combat 7 because Ace Combat 6 had a pretty damn good storyline. Even though the voice acting was kind of, how the English sub-dub voice had to be kind of canned sometimes. It's still a decent game nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Ace Combat 6 talked about Grace Maria, and I think Ace Combat 7 is going back to Grace Maria, and I would love to see a more massive arena of dog fighting and just all types of shit going on and all types of chaos. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's kind of because, like, one of the things I liked about Ace Combat was that at times you would have an ass of chaos going on. You would have AA guns shooting at you, missiles coming at you. You got bogeys on your ass, bogeys in front. You got a bomber flying over here, bombing the shit out of something you need to be protecting. And I said to myself, that's why I like Ace Combat, because there's so much stuff going on. You can kind of pick and choose where you come from, but you better move fucking quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's like, I would love to see that game. I would love to see them. I would love to see Bethesda, and I know they're not going to do this. I would love for them to release some more single-player DLC for Doom, because I know Doom has that shit, what's that damn map editor called? Snap Map. I would love to see Doom have full-fledged single-player DLC, kind of reminiscent of not the first game, but at the same time, you have another section of the UAC facility that you didn't see, and there's something else you got to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would kind of be in the form of a paper. You have levels in between the ones you play. Like, holy shit, I didn't see this. And you might have a new gun or two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would really love to see that, because I think Doom is one of those games that gave us the FPS genre, but at the same time, it's fucking awesome, and I feel it's kind of being slept on in some cases. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's still an awesome game if you ask me. I would love to see Bethesda do that, but I know they're probably not going to fucking do that. So,
right. Now, two more things before we close it out here. Two more really. What do you all think of EA is allegedly attempting a hostile takeover of CD Projekt Red? And from all indications, it looks like it may actually happen. Cycle, you got any thoughts on that, on how that could affect gaming?
Oh, I'm sorry, what you say? I missed.
There is an alleged hostile takeover. EA, our favorite, the best company in the world, they are allegedly trying a hostile takeover of CD Projekt Red. It made Witcher. Yep. They're about to make, I guess it's a Sucker Punch. They're making some other game right now. But what do you all think of? What do you think about that? I'll come to you next, Jesse. What do you think about that as far as good, bad, indifferent?
Disclaimer, first of all, I had a few drinks. Disclaimer.
So, I'm right there with you.
Okay, cool. So that's why I have to repeat that. But as far as EA taking over, I mean, I don't see anything particularly wrong with it. I know EA has a bad reputation. But to me, they're not doing anything that any other company isn't doing. That's just my opinion on them. But I don't see what the problem is. I think they'll have more funding.
Right.
Other than that, I don't know. Other than charging for DLC and stuff like that, which is, I think, isn't The Witcher already doing that? Charging for DLC? I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah, they did. But let me tell you this: both those DLCs were effing amazing. Both of them.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They were both. Yeah, go ahead.
EA is going to do some small, slight, shicey stuff to get more money out of the gamer. But for me, this is just me though. I don't really buy DLC, and so it doesn't really affect me that much. But I can see where how people would be upset about EA, doing that. But when you look at Battlefield, for instance, I love the hell out of Battlefield. The single player, the experience of that campaign was amazing, and that's made by EA, correct? Yeah. So for me, it's like it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to get too much into the politics of gaming, because at that point it starts ruining it for me.
Right.
Like I was listening to one other podcast like earlier today, not earlier, but maybe a few hours ago, where one of the guys in there was saying I'm not going to ever buy a Microsoft console or I'm not ever going to buy an Xbox because I don't like Microsoft. When you get to the point to where you're letting your hatred for a company or whatever cloud your gaming or your entertainment or things that you want, then I think you're too deep into it. For me, you know what I mean? Like for me, I've always thought Sony stuff was too expensive for me.
Yeah,
growing up, they've always been too expensive. But I'm a gamer at heart, and so I saved up my money. I mowed lawns and everything to go ahead and get that PS1, that PS2. I got all PlayStation devices because for me, I'm a gamer, so I won't let. So as an adult now, I realize that, for me, like I can't get too caught up into the politics and all that kind of stuff within this gaming. Within this gaming realm. If EA is providing something that I want, then I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy it just simply because it's EA.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion on that.
All right. What about you, Jay? You think that's a good thing for gaming if they take over CD Projekt Red?
Okay. I'm actually kind of split on this. Let's get the bad shit out the way first.
Uh-oh.
No.
All right. Company takeover.
Let me take a shot of bourbon real quick. All right, hold on.
Oh shit!
You go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Oh, let's get the bad shit out first. Okay, EA's takeover of CD Projekt Red. I'm starting to smell they trying to push ideas that people might not want into the next Witcher. That's just my paranoia and other shit that I kind of think. I think EA is already enough company that's got enough shit. So I think them trying to do a hostile takeover, a CD Projekt Red is not a good thing because it makes them like looks like some greedy motherfuckers. And I don't want them to be greedy motherfuckers, but that's what they looking like.
Yeah.
On the good note, like Cycle said, when you have more funding, you can do more stuff. So let's say EA does go and they do it like how they did both LucasArts and Marvel. They're not exactly cheap. They own the right to their intellectual properties, but they're not influencing the intellectual properties like that. And if EA does take Project Red and they kind of pull off a Disney where we have the rights to your stuff, but we're not going to infringe on your creative properties or what you're trying to do, then I actually be behind it. And like Psycho said, when you start getting into the whole political side of gaming, that's when gaming starts being fun and starts being imaginative. You start having all these goddamn fan wars on fucking YouTube. You got motherfuckers sending out angry ass emails to you saying I hate you and don't even like you.
Hey, fellas, real quick, y'all. Hey, I gotta go, y'all. Duty calls, so I gotta roll.
Man, hey,
Yeah.
Hey, brother, have a good time tonight. Be
All right.
careful.
Yep, indeed, man. Hey, thank y'all for having me on, man.
Nope.
Oh, anytime, man. Anytime.
Conversation. All right, have a good one. See you.
This is,
I take it easy, bro.
but anyway, what was I saying? Can you hear me, Craig?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
Anyway, like I said, the whole thing with the corporate takeover is the way I feel is this. It could be a good thing as well as a bad thing. It could be a good thing because you have extra money coming in. It could be a bad thing because you messing with someone's ideas of what they're trying to do for a project. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, when I look at Titanfall, when I look at the whole thing with Vance Capello leaving Activision, like we talked about yesterday, he's actually much happier because he's able to bring out the ideas that he fucking wants to do. You know?
Yeah, one of the things I'm kind of split on it myself. I look at a company like BioWare, and let's look at Mass Effect 2. So let's look at the good. The good thing with Mass Effect 2 was they changed that engine, and that's why you were able to do the SWAT turns. I think they used the Unreal. With EA, they were given a version of the Unreal engine. So the Gears of War engine. So that's what made Mass Effect 2 kind of play differently. You know, and EA with more money, they were able to make the game look better. The game did look better. Here's what I didn't like about it. Mass Effect 3. They made the DLC, the Vengeful Ancient. That was the one with the Prothean in it. That was actually part of the physical game. EA cut that out and made it day one DLC so that they could make money back off of it. And this is just my opinion. I still believe that's the reason Casey Hudson left that company. Because and he works at Microsoft now. He's fine. But yeah, I think he left that company because of that. Now, my last one I was Psycho and One Stop could have stayed on, but this is the last question. I'll go to I'll start it off, and this is a rumor. I'll let you finish it up, Jay. Okay. This is the rumor, folks. For all you all that are listening, it's rumors. So don't kill me for this one. It is alleged that the Coalition game Gears of War 4 did so bad in sales that they are possibly in talks with Sony to bring Gears of War 4 to the PlayStation 4 with a pro patch.
Oh, shit.
So if this rumor is true, will this be the final dagger, sword, whatever you want to, firebomb into this whole fake console war? If Mass Effect has gone to Sony, it's going to now be affiliated with Sony. Rockstar Games is going to have Red Dead Redemption 2 with Sony. So you're seeing these multiplats break heavily in Sony's favor. If that's true, what do you think happens with this console thing? And if it's true, it may not be true. So let me get your opinion on that.
Okay. I feel on this rumor shit. I hate rumors, but let's just say this shit might be true. This what's gonna happen. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
This what the fuck gonna happen. Xbox world is gonna fucking explode. Consume thousands. Next game gonna stop looking like cookies. People gonna stop taking videos. Goddamn crap game gonna lose weight. A motherfucking travesty on that side. Now, this is why I said travesty. Because think about it. Gears of War, Forza, and all those are Xbox properties, right?
Gears was when it was with Cliffy B and all those guys, but it's with Coalition Games now. So
still Microsoft shit. See, what I'm trying to say is this, man. A lot of those games started on Microsoft. A lot of those games are the reason why Xbox is getting the fan base that they got. But if this rumor happens to be true, it's a possibility. Microsoft might be in some deep shit they can't climb out of. Xbox fanboys is gonna have a damn 6-hour podcast with their tissues and Kleenexes and baby wipes, shitting, wiping their ass with the baby wipes, wiping their eyes with the Kleenexes and blowing boogers all over the place. If that's true, I feel bad for the Xbox camp. I really fucking do. I really do, because I feel like when you do that, you are already, Microsoft, I wouldn't necessarily, but, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Right now, they're getting their ass killed is what the fuck is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Not according to Crap Gamer. Crap Gamer said that Xbox won November.
I don't give a damn what the hell Cartman say. He don't know what the fuck you talking about. Anyway, as I was saying, if that happens, if that does indeed happen to be true, and I hope it's not true, then Microsoft is gonna feel a bit hurt. They're gonna feel a bit rammed in the ass because PlayStation already has a lead over them, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to incite no console war stuff. I'm just simply saying what people with a brain already know. Now, if the Scorpio can pull some magic tricks and shit, I'd be happy for it. I'd be happy for gaming in general because Microsoft still has a leg in this shit. But if this crazy ass rumor happens to be true, you're gonna have a lot of Xbox fanboys crying, bleeding, needing corks, needing Jesus, needing goddamn therapy, having 10-hour podcasts, crying about other men. It's gonna be a travesty for that camp. I hope it's not true, but if it is, Xbox fanboys, with the archdiocese and the bishop, we will all pray for you.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up the podcast. That was a good one. Yeah, I had one too many shots of bourbon. So, go ahead and this is Craig Harris, the black man in the blue chair. I've been in here with this is the Big Time Gaming. I'm just going to call this podcast Big Time Gaming. Going to try to do it every Sunday between 6 and 7:30, depending on my work schedule. So hopefully the latest it'll kick off is 8 o'clock if I have to work on a Sunday. But I appreciate everybody listening. Shout out to Cycle Gamer for popping in. I know he's been running all day. Shout out to One Stop for Gamers, and another quick shout out to him for letting me do be the moderator with him and the Kids Smooth discussion. If you all haven't listened to that podcast, please go ahead and check that out. Shout out to Weapon Wheel Podcast, all them brothers on there. Keep it moving. Big shout out to you, Jesse, for coming in. I do appreciate it. And you all go check out Jesse's channel. He's putting it together. He's big on anime, so let him get his thing going. But that is it for this podcast, and ending with the so we started out with some Xbox. This was predominantly an Xbox podcast. We did pretty good on it. Started out with some again, the Zen hardware. It's out. You all can go look this up, but there's 3 versions of it. No Man's Sky, they did drop a 1.3 gigabyte patch or DLC that's free. CD Projekt Red is possibly in a hostile takeover with EA. We talked about the good and bad of that, and even dropped in some movie stuff. And people doing voice acting. Let's not whitewash the characters. But that is that's the end of this podcast. And I learned some new stuff today, definitely, and hopefully you did too. So that is it for this one. We're gonna end it.
Let me go ahead and
Yeah, I was about to come to you with a shout out. Go ahead and shout yourself on out.
Alrighty, y'all. Oh, it was Ziggy Johnson and ain't got time for the haters. My channel is JD33. You got that JAYD33. Basically, it's a channel trying to get started with YouTube stuff, gaming talks, anime, things of that nature. I'm trying to get some things so that with Craig Harris and all the people that was in here, because I feel that as gamers, we can make YouTube a much better place than the fuckers bullshit we see every goddamn day. This dumbass console war makes no sense. So in the words of the player pimp named Goldie Lost, I want to let y'all know, all you goddamn fanboys, I hate you, and motherfucking you. And the people who watch this podcast, I love all y'all. So I smell y'all motherfuckers later. Peace.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.